Hi, it's Carly here from Triibe. Day 15 of our vulnerability challenge. I'm actually in the middle of a dinner party, but I'm meeting our commitment to do one of these videos every day. So I'm ducking out to do a video. Today I want to talk about some of my journey around perfectionism and how embracing how I'm imperfect is been liberating. Now, I've put a lot of energy into being perfect in different ways, I was a very diligent student, worked very hard, and I had a lot of good boy type of stuff going on as a child, and then when I got into spiritual work when I was 16, I was very diligent, kind of doing my practice and making sure that I did everything as I thought it needed to happen, and I think there is a lot to be said to have high standards. Having high standards is important to me. But what I've realized is that all this energy going into being perfect, a lot of it was a strategy to feel good about myself, essentially, and to have people like me, to receive approval from people. And it's taken a long time to see that and to realize is how much efforting has gone into that, and just talking about that, I feel tired. It's I feel tired of putting all this energy into creating a particular image and sustaining that image of myself, both projecting it out towards other people as well as having to live into these kind of crazy expectations I've had for myself. And I think about where people might give me some feedback and call out something that's going on for me, maybe Carly, you seem a bit stressed or a bit overwhelmed, and how in the past I've become defensive around that. It's it hasn't been okay for me to be that way, and I'll start feeling insecure and thinking that somehow I shouldn't be allowed to go to those places because I'm meant to have my shit together and I've done all this work, and it's just talking about it now, it seems kind of crazy. And the reality is, I'm super regularly overwhelmed and stressed and challenged by life. I think about my day today and have my 2 daughters today, and just as kids are, they were quite demanding, and there was kind of lots of things coming at me, and it was hard work to keep up with all these things. And there were points in the day where I was my own little one, my own kind of little Carly inside. It was oh my God, this is hard, I'm not really coping, and that's just super regular. And the paradox is that actually owning that in my experience means that I can now be in relationship to that. So if I'm actually, rather than denying if I'm feeling overwhelmed or imperfect in whatever way it is, and instead embrace that, then I can listen to those parts of myself a whole lot more, and I can hold those parts of me. I can be in relationship to myself such that I can speak to myself in a soothing way, in a loving kind of way, and that's just feels so beautiful to me, to actually kind of self-parent myself essentially, and give myself that kind of love. And it's not only that I can be in relationship to myself like that, but it's also that I can share that with other people, and then much more explicitly assert boundaries and make requests and look after myself. I can say to somebody, hey, I'm actually feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, and whatever it is, can you just take my kids for 20 minutes while I just go and lie down and just be with myself for a little bit. So it's okay for me to actually be imperfect and fucked up at times. It means that I can then do things about it. It's okay for me to tell that to people and look after myself in that place. And I feel glad that I'm gradually learning how to more and more just like own how I'm imperfect, you know, such that I can look out for myself in these kind of ways. And I feel a lot of passion about like making that okay for people in general. And you know, actually I think we're all imperfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. That's just the nature of being a human being, you know, that we all actually have these little children inside of us. You know, as we grow up, there's parts of us don't disappear. They're still there. We just develop more layers around these parts of ourselves. And actually being a healthy, integrated human being isn't about getting rid of our imperfections and the pains that we have. I think it's actually more about coming into relationship with those parts of ourselves, being more in relationship with ourselves so that we can hold ourselves and know how to have our needs and desires met by being in relationship to those parts. So for the people out there watching, I'd love to fully welcome all the ways in which you are imperfect and encourage you to be okay with that, accept that, and actually be okay to share that with people and ask for what you need around those places that you're imperfect. And I'd love to hear how this has impacted you. Thank you.